A big welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second weekend of the 2016 World Bowls Championships here in Christchurch at the beautiful Burnside Bowls Club, where we have the first final for day one here Saturday, which is the women's triples. Would you please give a warm welcome to the Australian team members, Rebecca Van Ash, Natasha Scott, and Carla Krasanik. And taking on Australia, Wales stand in their way. It's Emma Woodcock, Kathy Pearce, and Anwyn Button. Your women's triples, Australia versus Wales.
Well, the teams have had their warm-ups now, their practice ends, and they've managed to get a feel for this main rink here, the television rink at Burnside Bowling Club. And the two skips now wander down to the head, awaiting the delivery of the first jack, which will be delivered by Australia. So Australia placing the mat. There's a lot of Welsh support here. In fact, Anwyn Button, who we've seen come down here, and will be standing alongside Van Ash, the skip for Australia. Her husband and two children are here watching. Some wearing... well, that's a leak on my head, he says. So the big final is underway. This is the women's triples. Wales against Australia. Australia, their lead, Carla Krasanik, was very, very impressive in the fours final. Three team members here were all part of that combination which won the gold medal. This here, the lead, Emma Woodcock for Wales. That Jack looking very lonely in those initial couple of bowls. Terry, it's nice to have you on board again after your sprint up from down on the rink. Well, I should leave you for a wee moment because I know you'll be puffing.
No, not the fitness of this guy. Well, a very good correction. Carla Krasanik, her first bowl, a couple of metres past the jack, but corrected well with the second. So the Welsh lead, Emma Woodcock, will be looking to do the same.
Right down there. Yeah, that's fine. Done. One.
All the way, mate. And again.
Natasha Scott on the mat now. She was the skip of the team which won the fours gold medal.
Good opener, mate. Good.
Yeah, it's nice and close. Either side.
Australia, their bowls have the blue disc on. Wales getting their national colour, the red.
Down now. Down, Kath. Hang about. Very good. Well done.
Only a couple of feet, mate.
So conditions here are pretty good. There's, well, we can see flags in the background which are moving, but there's very little breeze at all. It's one of the more pleasant days they've had during the competition. 2 weeks of World Bowls Championships here in Christchurch, with this Burnside club being the headquarters.
Yes, it certainly makes for a lot better game when you get the pleasant conditions, and traditionally, of course, in Christchurch in the morning games, there always seem to be the better games. Green running at a nice speed, 17 seconds, the green's running this morning, so it's a very good pace.
Up. Come on, Kath. Up you come. A little bit more. Done.
Just wanting another metre and a half or so, and that would have been the ideal bowl. So Australia holding probably two shots there. They're the blue disc bowls. At end of the white line forms a T, which we often refer to, the T, which is actually the 2 metre mark, 2 metres from the ditch. And if the jack end is killed and the jack is respotted on exactly that T, or as close to that as is allowed by other bowls.
Move a bit.
Come on, you can do this. Just really listen, you got it. Come on, you can do this.
Anwen Button from the Lampeter Bowling Club. Parents watching at home on live streaming, and I bet they're very excited about this, as are all those members of the Lampeter Bowling Club. They've had a lot of reaction, and they said, can you thank all those people from our bowling clubs and our friends who've been sending messages, a lot of them via Facebook, and I had a glance at some of those messages earlier today, and certainly there's great encouragement and immense pride for this team from Wales.
Easy, Tig. Drop. Down, 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 down. Maybe.
So what, 2 and a measure, maybe 3 there for Australia. This is a little bit of an early pressure situation for Wales.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see what Anwen Button does here, whether she decides to attack. I think the only problem being is that her own bowl, her own team members' bowl, we can see it there, the red disc bowl is sitting on the centre line virtually, so reduces her options for her. I think really it's just a draw, trying to reduce the count. Definitely the 2 to Australia, probably 3.
So here it comes. You can see it start to break as it goes through the arc. Looks a bit wide.
Yes. Yes, she showed it when she let the bowl go, didn't she?
There is Karen Murphy, where Karen's going to join us for a period of commentary later, which will be totally appropriate for the way Australia's been playing, and of course the fact that this is live on Fox Sport as we see the measure in action here. Certainly a very good start by Australia.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's going to have to be.
It is a 2.
Well.
We just said it'll have to be 3. We did say it'll have to be 3.
I think what we happened here is that
Yeah, no worries.
bowl was moved without being measured.
Yeah, yeah.
Therefore, on that basis, I think it was the Welsh lady who moved the measure bowl, didn't she? It's a bowl that was going to be measured, so I thought then that she would have to have conceded that shot
I
as
would
well.
have thought so, and we notice that's why there's been a bit of a delay here, and the Australians just checked with their coach, and now we can see they're holding up 3 fingers down the end.
Thank you.
Yes, and it has been changed to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually think that that bowl was in anyway.
Yes, yeah, I think so. We claimed 3, didn't we?
They were just a little bit
little
closer
hint
than
of
us.
embarrassment there on the face of Kathy Pearce. And now we see the jack being sent right up into the ditch, is it? Not quite. Back up to the tee it goes.
Yeah, it just shows the importance of jack throwing there, doesn't it? Because Australia have adopted the policy they did last week in the fours, where they've taken the mat a long way up the green and looking to place the jack on the 2 metre mark. Well, that was a great throw, and that just shows the importance of that jack throwing. Carla Krasanik just making sure that the jack didn't go into the ditch, wanting to reach the 2 metre line, and we can see as it comes into view now the jack right on the tee, and she knew exactly where it was with her first bowl as well.
Wow. Toucher first up. Yeah, the lead for Wales is Emma Woodcock, and there's really a tinge of sadness with this Welsh team because their original lead was Carolyn Taylor, and before the team left, Carolyn was forced to pull out because her father took ill. And further sadness was the fact that since then her father has passed away. So Emma Woodcock, who was coming out as I think as one of the coaches, she's taken the position of lead here. So Carolyn Taylor and Kathy Pearce,
Very good, mate. Well done.
from the Berry U Club. And we know that Carolyn, I sent a great photo of Carolyn, her husband, and the two boys as they were wearing all their Welsh gear and the big rubber hands with the finger poking up. They were sitting in their lounge watching this on live streaming. So all the best to you and your family as you support this very impressive Welsh team in this final.
Yeah, mate. Anything inside that is really good. Yeah.
Go on, Kath.
Good like that.
Right up to it.
Yes, a little bit of cover there for Australia. Natasha Scott drawing to the back of the rink in anticipation of this shot, looking pretty much online as well.
Removes one, the nice run shot.
It's still there, mate. Another good second now. Anything inside there?
And again, Kath. Get it again.
Women's final of the triples, 2006 World Bowls, 18 ends. Australia starting well with a 3 on the first. Another run shot. Not as accurate this time, though. She was spot on with the first. So the situation there, obviously, Australia holding that one shot, maybe two, or that white ball with the blue track on it. Has that got a red disc on it? I think that's the Welsh holding second shot.
Yes, that is. It's the Welsh bowl. That's the stripe coloured one, the blue and the white.
So Australia instantly declared their hand, didn't they? Getting the mat for the first end, dragging it out, throwing it up to the tee, and obviously it's something that they feel works well for them, and also makes it quite difficult for some of the Northern Hemisphere teams. They would have recognised this against this Welsh team when they played them in the round robin, and they comprehensively won that match. Delicate touch required here. They're holding second shot, but they're down. That shot bowl is very close to the jack.
Well, it may even be Australia that's holding two until this bowl. Because the last,
Yes, that last
bowl.
one, of course.
However, Anne Button, she's drawn second shot.
Launceston, Rebecca Van Ash. She was played number 3 in their fours gold medal winning combination of last weekend. Australia holding shot, up by 3-0 after the first end.
Move now the jack.
Move it as she does. Has it changed the situation? Yes, it has. They're back to holding two.
be interesting now. It's given an opportunity for Anwen Button to play with perhaps some weight. Oh, their own bowl fell over as well. Don't know if that's made a difference or not.
From that angle, it doesn't look as though it has, but she saw it fall over. She was down there watching, now marches back to pick up the final bowl. So she can get a clear view now of the jack, whereas previously she couldn't.
I think we'll see her play with some weight.
To Australia, and when Button unable to make any difference on her second shot, her run shot, and so Australia pick up another couple. They lead by 5-0. First bowl on the third end of this women's triples final at World Bowls 2016. Burnside Club in Christchurch. Carla Krzanek looking to set it up as she has done so often throughout the competition. A very large crowd here yesterday for semi-finals day. Terry, in a nice sunny situation with this main green here. The stand was practically full, and out the back where they were playing the other matches also full, and people overflowing as players finished games and stayed around, and supporters rocked in. It was a great day of bowls and some sensational finishes.
Yeah, there certainly was, and I'm sure the crowd will build up as the day goes on today, particularly with New Zealand coming into the men's final of the fours this afternoon. But there were some great bowls. There was some tense stuff at the end of a number of games yesterday. Extra ends, last end wins.
Good, mate. Very good, mate. Well done.
A couple of shots there for Australia. Natasha Scott, who was in the gold medal winning team 4 years ago when Australia won the triples. Australia also winning this in 1985 and 1988. And Wales, their sole victory is in 1977. She's getting those little slides, but they're not making much difference to the overall situation. It's 1, maybe 2 there to Australia.
Yes, I think it's certainly 2. The thing being is Australia's just picked the line better so far. The Welsh team have been wide with their bowls, and they've got to realise that they are playing a relatively short end. They don't need to go too far out. This one certainly looks to be on a tighter line.
Come on, Carl. Come on.
Whether it holds to the jack or not, it's in a good track.
Oh, she got a piece of it and also stayed. That's a very good correction from Kathy Pearce. That's delightful. There'll be a roar from the Pearce household. The children, Emily and Craig, are watching at home, and Mother Eileen. So that's something to help lift your spirits as you look at that score at 5-0. But that's a very good response from Kathy Pearce.
First fit's fair. How's your weight? Hurry!
Still 1 shot to Wales. Yes, they'll be hoping they can hold this shot, Wales, not from the point of just getting onto the scoreboard, but they will be able to change the length of end. I'm sure that we'll see a longer end being thrown. Traditionally play, of course, on a lot heavier greens than what they are playing on here.
Down you come, Anwen. Down now.
Bowl's also on a fairly good track.
Come on.
Drop quick.
Rest. Lay down, Anwen.
Well played.
Or
Yeah, not much.
Australia just checking that they have 2 second shots, because I'm sure if they have, they will be looking to attack the Welsh bowl. The red disc bowl we see immediately below the jack.
Oh, yeah, firm. You know, you get the ball out, you get the jack in the creek straight through.
so there's Anwen Button's husband Tim, and also Alice and Harry are here watching as well. In fact, Anwen and daughter Alice won the national pairs title this year.
Certainly looked to playing with some weight. Not a full drive.
Tell you what,
They're attacking the shot bowl or the jack.
Stay.
Jack, and that will come back to the tee, and they moved that shot bowl of Wales as well. It's moved it away from it. Was practically on the tee, and it moved it, and now you can see there that Australia have turned this around. They're holding 2 shots.
Yeah, just nestle in there.
Well, Button wasn't far away with that previous draw shot of hers. Just see where that red ball goes. Yes, it went off the tee. When the jack was respotted, it favoured Australia.
Well, it's just back to the draw now for Button again.
She had a line pretty good with the previous one. She was just, her weight was a bit off. She could play with a bit slight weight, and it won't matter this time. Oh, cuts it down. Yes, certainly. So a single there for Australia, and they lead by 6-0.
Very good start for Australia.
They certainly are going at the moment. I jokingly told that couple that put those banners up there, those scarves up there, I said, you can't put those up here, get those down. They gave me the expected gesture afterwards. It's been really good. The Australian supporters have been fantastic, and we've got, as we mentioned last week, so many visitors from around the world here. Some of the players and families are staying on for holidays. Probably had to change their plans once the most recent of the earthquakes hit New Zealand.
Colour.
But they certainly
Great opener,
have all
mate.
expressed great admiration and love of the country, liking the scenery and the people, and of course, if you're Welsh and you end up winning a gold medal, it'll be an even nicer holiday, having travelled all that way. This is the 4th end at 6-0. It's a fantastic start by Australia.
Well done, Purple.
Very good, mate.
Emma Woodcock from the Cardiff Bowling Club.
He's good.
Everyone down, just similar now.
Woodcock's also a social member of the Penarth Windsor Club.
Come
As she
on.
said, she's been getting
Try and get him.
great amount of feedback
Come on, work away now.
from their
Quickly.
performances, so I've been encouraged by
Oh,
that.
back it
There's
up,
no
back
doubt
in place there. So,
things have changed in the way in which you view sports such as bowls, and it might not be this sort of television coverage, but the live streaming is certainly proving very popular and opening up the world of bowls to the world.
Come on, get down.
This is a
Down,
nice
Dad.
looking bowl.
Down.
Well done.
Yeah, good. Well done, mate.
couple there now, shuffle
So
there,
Scott being
ready
very
to go.
steady at 2, Terry, as we'd expect. She's shown in this tournament that she's right on form.
It's a very steady combination throughout the Australian triple.
Okay, good morning.
And you just see them that last bowl from Natasha Scott sitting back the closest of the Welsh bowls as Kathy Pearce heavy with her first. As I said, I think it's important for them to score so as they can get the length of this end changed.
Yeah, really good.
At the moment, Australia holding a couple of shots.
All right, keep coming.
Come on, Kath, control this. Not to beat now.
Come in there at all, buddy.
Needed to do that to music, really. Here's Kathy Pearce, who also wasn't happy with her first bowl. She was just too wide. She's made some corrections here. Might be just slightly heavy.
Yes, we've found so far that the Welsh team, they're certainly playing with some weight to it. And I think that's the problem they're having with this very short mat at the moment. I suppose it's better than being short, of course. It gives options there for Anwen Button to play attacking shots, but they need to score. They need to draw shots.
So that's what Anwen Button has viewed, and also Rebecca Van Ash knows exactly what's required. It's a good picture of it.
Down you get, buddy.
Playing
Shoot.
that
Come on, back.
backhand
Get
side.
in. Well played here.
Comes in nicely, gets a little halt. So 3 shots now, Australia leading, and Button really is having to work hard.
Yeah, she's been on the back foot a bit and trying to place a lot of recovery shots. Been in situations where she's been invariably down when she's headed back towards the mat. And this is another example of it. Australia holding 3 at the present time. Well, she's attacking, and which is interesting. Looking to get the jack and pretty much on the line. Yes, she does.
Yeah, well played.
Well, it's a great shot from Anwen Button, and it gets respotted. We can see the red disc bowl of Wales. It's sitting right on the tee, and that's where the jack is respotted as close as possible to that. When there is a bowl sitting on it, the jack is placed in front of the bowl that's sitting on it. So it's a pretty good result there from Anwen Button.
Yeah, good work, Mum. Fair bit of deliberation as we see it again, clean onto the jack, and this time didn't move the Welsh ball, which was on the tee. They haven't had much to grin about, really, down by 6-0 after 3.
Last bowl from Australia, 1 down, looking to attack as well. Movement of the jack, or killing of the jack and movement of the bowl will give Australia the shot. However, looks to be wide and gets a result. Well, it's going for you, it's going for you, and a result there for Australia. You can see the blue disc bowl immediately below the jack, which is the shot.
Okay, just the one.
You see it here Rebecca Van she was right off target, catching on to the wing bowl and propelling it towards the shot bowl, removing it cleanly off the jack to give Australia the one shot.
I think she'll come back and tell you that that's what she was aiming for, Terry.
Down you come. Run and win.
Drop.
Just whether it'll come home from here, this
Come on,
bowl.
drop. Drop.
Needs a lot of turning.
Fab weight. Good effort.
Another good end for Australia.
Yeah, one.
And it's a single. And so the Australians have scored on the first 4 ends. They lead by 7-0 in this 18-end match, the women's triples final between Australia and Wales. Playing end number 5, the women's triples final, World Bowls Championships at Burnside Club in Christchurch. Australia up by 7-0 after 4 ends. A 3 on the first, then a 2, followed by 2 singles. Krzanek leading well. And I looked across and it didn't look like Terry Scott sitting next to me. It's in fact Karen Murphy.
Ready, mate, come on.
So that's a highlight of my day, Karen. Getting rid of Terry, obviously. This is a very good start, isn't it, by Australia?
Absolutely. 7-0 after 5. Fortune sort of going with the Aussies at the moment.
Come on.
But tactically, they've come in. They've realised that pulling the mat out is something that they possibly saw during their earlier match against Wales. It worked for them.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's something that they've adopted through the 4s as well, which was a success for the Aussies. Mat up, short ends, and they've just continued with that length.
So have you recovered from your another gold medal? That was a great final. Tell us about that last end, that last shot of yours in the singles final.
Yeah, it's I was happy with how I played. I think that was the thing that I was most happiest about in that win. But like I think you just don't get opportunities like that very often in world singles finals. And when you're on the platform on 17, you've got to take your chances when they arise. So as soon as I let it go, I was fairly confident that I was pretty close.
Up you come. Up. Come on. All the way.
Yes, all of a sudden you had the 4 shots, wasn't it, on that final end to take the match out. We see an excellent bowl by Emma Woodcock, the lead for Wales. Yes, so there's some sort of highlights that you remember for a long time, aren't they? And you'll recall that for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. It's singles can be a lonely game when things aren't going that great for you. But I think everyone had their battles, throughout the singles, over the last few weeks. But we got a great unity within our Australian team, and it was lovely to share that with them.
So what are the strengths of this Australian combination? Because they all played in that 4s final, didn't they, in different roles. So clearly interchangeable when they made that sort of after 2 days, they made the change in positions in the 4s when things weren't going so well.
I think that's the great thing about the Aussie girls. They are quite versatile. Like, I mean, every of the girls that are playing on this rink now are all skips in their own right, and but everyone knows their role and what their duty is in that role. And in the girls in the 4s case, hats off to them for how they reacted to it when they did change the team and ended up getting through winning gold. So
yeah. Yes, sometimes that happens, and you see a bit of acrimony, unhappiness. Players not talking to each other. When that happens, it does occur often. Occasionally, I mean, but certainly not within the Australian team. They all accepted that was what was best for it, and it proved to be the case.
I think it probably affected Kelsey the most. Kelsey went from skip to lead, but full credit to her and great respect. She really took the ball by the horns and led by example in more ways than one. She played really well up front for the girls, and everyone fitted into their role well.
She is here, as all the Australians are, supporting this team. She and the 3 that we're watching in this final were the gold medal winners in the 4s on the first weekend. Australia up by 7-0.
Try.
just trying to throttle Wales out of this. Jack movement here, no, through the gap slightly. See there, the red disc bowl of Wales holds the shot at the moment. They've been in that position before, and as anyone who's been watching bowls and has not really taken a great deal of interest in it, you can be holding all the shots you like, but when there's still one bowl to play, it could all change.
Absolutely, as we saw last end with a bit of fortune from Rebecca Van Ash. Managed to get the Wales bowl cleanly away from the jack. Really give the Welsh girls some confidence here, I think, if they were able to score on this end.
Any drop, you're good. Any drop, you're good. Well played.
Just a fraction heavy.
Well, it's finished in a very good spot there, closest to the tee.
It's a vastly different view, though, when you go back to the mat. You stand up there, look at it, and wander back, and then turn around and think, it looks totally different to what I've just left. I know you mentioned after the singles that you thought Burnside's one of your favourite clubs, and it has worked well for you, but the greenkeeper here has been doing his usual superb job, Glenn Miller. And I don't think there have been any complaints, have there, about the conditions?
I actually spoke to Glenn this morning and said, have you got a day off on Monday? And he said, well, if I have a day off, who's going to do the greens on Monday?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, because it's back to normal for club members. No change, still a shot there to Wales. Here's Glenn Miller. He's, as all greenkeepers know, it's an early start and a late finish for them, but he's done a really fantastic job. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you go there, you've got that, or if you go there, we've got...
What are they discussing, do you think?
Yeah, just trying to manufacture something out of this head at the moment. They're looking at the forehand at the moment, playing through the blue bowl.
But as you see to the top right of your picture now, there's 3 Welsh bowls. If the jack was to move there, it would help them immensely.
Looks very close for shot at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just not too sure, and I wondered the way they were talking. From here, it looks as though the red disc bowl has got it, but...
Forehand it is for Anwen Button.
Yeah. Just steps back to reassess. There she is. She's got weight on this too.
Come on. Don't attach, you're close.
She looks to be a good
She's
line.
close here.
George didn't quite get the one she was after. Now, in fact, if they didn't have the shot, or did have the shot, they don't have it now. In fact, they're 2 down, 2 to Australia. So it worked against them, and there's Anwen Button's husband, Tim, watching and looking a bit deflated after that shot, but not as deflated as the team will be. Here we see the shot come in, and a little bit of despair for Anwen Button as they drop another 2 in this final of the women's triples. 9-0, Australia lead.
There's the Aussie contingent, Mark McMahon, Beth Quinlan and now Dalsey on the right-hand side, our women's manager, Faye Luke. Been supporting our Aussie contingent for the last few weeks. I'm sure they're looking for a nice rest when we get home.
Yes. But prior to that, I want to see this and the other Australian finalists produce their best over this finals weekend.
Come on, girls, keep it going.
Interestingly, heading in this direction, John, when the jack's on the tee, which it is in the situation that it is at the moment, it actually scoots along a little bit. It's actually sort of, you've got to be a little bit careful with your weight. I think a lot of the players have been finding that they're just running on a fraction through the tee.
It's interesting because we commented on that quite a bit last weekend, where we couldn't work out whether there was a bit of more wind effect down there or not. But well, it's an interesting call you make, and it's something the players have to have in their mind all the time, don't they?
Yeah, well, I would imagine it's where the mat is put a lot and where people stand a lot, which could compact the grass a little bit more, hence why the bowls might be running on a fraction.
Very good, mate. Well done.
And again. This one.
Red disc bowls of Wales. This is Emma Woodcock with her second.
And I know from sort of playing in the singles final in this rink too, if you're just a fraction high on this hand that Emma's playing at the moment, it just won't get back. It's a little bit lazy, so...
Done.
Good guide, mate. It's a couple. You beat that, you got it.
And then you change your line by a fraction and you find that it overcompensates.
Yeah, it was a fine line.
Come on, Tash. Come on, bud.
She's going to run this out.
Run a bit. Well, great effort, mate.
Yes, good not even if you're just turning Emma's round there. So,
Kathy Pearce won't be getting too excited. She knows they're holding two, but they've seen this a
come on,
lot.
Danny Cub.
She certainly has had a wee bit of a problem
Down
bowling
there.
this way with her green.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's good green.
Keep yours are both going.
Anwen Button and Kathy Pearce have been stalwarts of bowls within Wales for years. You know, they've been around for as long as I have. Great players as Natasha Van Elgic lines up.
One. Good.
One
good,
out.
good.
So an effective bowl.
Yeah, just throw away. Ideally, just beating this ball that was passed. Just drop a yard, you'll be in there on the tee.
Well, Anwen was a Commonwealth Games bronze medalist in the pairs in 2002 and 2010, and a world bronze in the fours in 2004 and a silver in the fours in 2008. She's been, as you say, within this Welsh representative team for many, many years. She and Kathy Pearce and also Emma Woodcock.
Our team actually played them in 2008 in the final of the fours here and skipped against myself. They're a great bunch of girls, the Welsh. They're always having a laugh, and they've got a good senses of humour. They're good girls. They're nice girls.
Van Ash. Not this time. She took one out with the first drive. This time she misses. Oh, sorry, that was Scott that did it previously. This is Van Ash on the mat now. She waits for her opposing skip, Anwen Button, to play her first. This is the sixth end, and it's 9-0. Wales desperate now to get on the board.
I think Anwen will be looking to get another bowl in the head there, John. They're holding one. The Aussies have 2 seconds at the moment. Just pushed it a bit wide.
Go again.
Right.
Fraction heavy, but
Okay.
handy.
I've got the back well and truly covered. Van Ash again. Looking for the shot.
Looking for
Ball. Well, that looks to be wider than a previous one. So not the best that we've seen from Rebecca Van Ash. So the nails might just survive a bit longer as Wales now endeavour to add to the single that they have down here at the moment. Oh, no, she's not going to.
Running a little bit.
Yeah. So 2 into the same spot there for Anwen Button and the Welsh team, but at last they're on the board. 9-1, Australia leading after 6 of the 18 ends of this women's triples final. Now we'll see what they do. They do place the mat well down. It'll be a long end. They haven't looked totally comfortable with the short ends that the Australians have been dictating.
And John, just a shout out to Caroline Taylor from Wales. I know Caroline's watching on the live streaming at home in Wales. She was selected in this team and had to stay home for family reasons. So Caroline, a big hello from everyone here in Christchurch, and hope you're well.
Yes, I was just saying a bit earlier, Karen, I saw one of the team showed a Facebook photo of Caroline and her husband, the two kids sitting there in their lounge watching this live streaming, and they had Welsh flags out and everything. I mean, it's been a very sad time for them, but and you're quite right, a lot of thoughts, everyone's thoughts are with her at the moment and the family.
Yeah, she's a nice girl, Caroline. We've had a lot of battles over the years. A good mate of mine. She's a passionate Welsh player and supporter of this team and these girls that are playing in the triples final.
But that's it with bowls. You know, there's so many international competitions, and you do run across each other a lot, don't you? Whether it's Commonwealth or Worlds, or, you know, in some areas Pan Pacs, or you and the Kiwis, of course, the Trans-Tasman, but lots and lots of competition. So you run across people all the time, and while it's fiercely competitive on the rink, afterwards it's not, is it?
Yeah, some of these, you know, the players that I've been playing with, like Anwen and Caroline and Kathy and Joe and Val, like we've been sort of, you know, playing against each other for 20 years. But, you know, you make some great friendships out of it. I think everyone's got a really healthy respect for each other and everyone's ability.
Very good, Carla. Well done.
Krzanek well short of the first, but makes the correction. Wells holding shot.
First then, Kath. Come on, nice now.
I think the Welsh girls will be, over the next few ends, will be looking just to beat the Aussies to the jack, I think, is key. They haven't quite sort of got there and put pressure onto the Aussies as yet. I think they really sort of need to start if they start getting their draw going.
Just winning the wee individual battles, isn't it? That's a key to it. And yeah, Anwen has really had to work hard to get anything, because the front end of Australia has just been dominating.
Again, Kath. Wait is far.
Joined by Karen Murphy, world champion singles player here at 2016 World Bowls.
Come on, work away. Work, Kath. Come on. Come on, up you can. Up. Up. Well done. You're in.
Great serving, buddy. Happy for whatever you want.
Well, plenty of room here for Tash to draw the shot.
Touch down a bit.
She's close to this. Just going through a fraction. Line was good.
Very good. Because you were in this team, which won it in 2012, weren't you? You were the...
Pardon me, in the
you were
triples,
in this triples gold medal team?
Yeah, Tash was a part of that. Tash, myself and Lindsay Armitage, who's now Lindsay Clark. Natasha Van Nordik's mother there. Always looks nervous.
Yeah. I was just looking back to see, you know, Australia won this in 1985 and 88 as well. So it was a long time between drinks until 2012. But they did win it in consecutive World Bowls Championships. So that combination with Dorothy Roach, the constant in that.
Yes, and the Aussies looking to go back-to-back in the triples here today. Off to a great start, 9-1. That's the sort of start you want when you're playing a world final.
How do you find having the microphone on when you're playing? Does it distract you at all? Some don't like it.
I think it's great for the game.
Yeah,
I think
it is great for the game.
Yeah, it doesn't worry me to play with it on. We have a lot of televised events in Australia, and I know the players are more than happy to wear it to promote the game and to try and sell the game. It's great for the viewers.
Absolutely. I think that's the key, because we've got a discussion happening now where, for the viewer, it's really nice to hear what they're thinking, particularly if they're bowlers themselves.
Definitely.
Down for it. Yeah, flat, yeah. Okay.
Come on.
Because we're constantly viewing it from behind the head, and they're viewing it from a different angle as they see it now. That's what Amwyn Button will be looking at when she turns on the mat. Get that short bowl.
Okay, play again, please.
Weighted shots react differently on these greens compared to home. Like you play weight on these greens, you don't need a lot of grass. It stands up for quite a long time, whereas at home it sort of whips away quite quickly. So it's a different tactical game over here, I think, even compared to Australia.
And clearly much different to Northern Hemisphere as well.
Much different, yeah.
Final bowler of this, the 7th end. Draw shot coming in from the Australian skip, Van Ash.
Come on, buddy.
Looks close here.
Yeah.
You wouldn't draw a touchy here, would you?
Well, that's a great shot from Rebecca Van Ash as she stayed in. Close.
Like it. Take one
Measure.
out, and they'll be careful to make sure they don't take some out that haven't been measured. You notice that on the first end. The Australians had measured 2, got 2 shots, and one of the Welsh players took another that hadn't been measured out. A bit embarrassed about it all.
Umpire, please.
Umpire being called in.
For the viewers at home, the bowls always look a lot further away than they actually are. Like on television, you know, these bowls that they're measuring at the moment are probably only, say, 14 inches or something away from the jack. They look further on television, I think.
Yeah. Just goes to show you should never believe everything you see on television.
I'm just sticking up for the players.
Yeah, that's right. Our umpires today are Russell Dorr of New Zealand and Arthur Gammock of Scotland. Whoops. Here we go again. Two it is. He rolls out the Australian ball, and it is 11-1 now. 18 ends the final, and we've played 7. Now, different attitudes for the two teams. One well ahead and looking comfortable and dominant in most areas. And for the other, 11-1 down and thinking, gosh, we've only played 7 ends, so there's still time, but they really do have to get some numbers on the board.
Yeah, it might be an idea for the Welsh to try and go to plan B at the moment, maybe change the lead's hand, or when they do get the jack, maybe go T to T, just trying to change things up to try and throw the Aussie girls off.
I was a bit surprised when they did have the mat that they didn't make it a long end, not as long as we anticipated.
Go on, Emma. See ya.
Emma really needs to beat Carla to the jack here. She's the key, I think, Emma, at the moment for the Welsh girls to gather a little bit of momentum. If she can start putting the Aussies under pressure up front, I think is key for Wales at the moment.
Up, up. Oh, line is far.
Good, buddy.
Yeah, it's not what she wanted, and she, like the rest of the team, has a family at home watching. Her husband Matthew and her dad Gran and her sister Bex and mum Shirley are all watching, and probably a bit like Tim Button up in the stand chewing their nails a wee bit as they just wanting to see, willing some Welsh bowls to get in close. Here's Woodcock again, her second.
Come on. Down you come, Emma. Down now.
She's closer here. Needs the inside of the Aussie bowl. A bit of help. That works.
Yep.
Pick your side, mate. Close you can. Come on, Tash.
Tasha's trying
Got
here.
this, mate. Hurry now.
Going to be a very good shot if it's not the shot.
Good. Good second.
Great weight.
So slow.
Yep, perfect.
Go, Kath.
The Welsh
now.
really need to score on this
Work
end,
away.
John.
Yeah, and not just a single. You know, they need something like a 3, don't they, to really bring them back
Yep,
into this.
down that.
Well, that's very handy.
They'll take a
Great
single,
pace.
obviously, but
Yeah, definitely. Even a double would help.
yeah. So the Welsh constantly on this forehand side, and Scott playing the backhand, which he played well with the last.
Tash with the signature wobble. An effective wobble it is.
Good.
Yeah, that's
Just looking to get in here, Kath.
a handy bowl.
Come on, down now.
Well, she looks wide again, Kathy Pearce on this side. It's just
Yeah, again, we said, I mean, she'll come in well, but overweight, but she has struggled a wee bit down this hand. And I think what you said earlier, maybe it's time to change the hand. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered so much on this particular end, but she's always played that forehand.
yeah, it scoots along a little bit at the tee. I actually came to the inside of the mat when I played the forehand going down that way, just to try and narrow my line up a little bit.
I actually think.
Well, one down, the Aussies. Couple of seconds.
At least, anyway. Yeah.
I think she'll be attacking this.
Well, she has previously, even at 1 down, she'll have a go at it. Comfortably on the board at 11-1, not wanting Wales to score if they can help it and perhaps take charge of the mat for a few ends. They don't want that to happen, so...
And
What's
Van
the-
Ash has had the luxury of having a lot of bowls in the head when she has had to attack.
Yeah.
And she winds up on the backhand.
She does have that ball on her forehand and aligned slightly. So she's attacking on the backhand. We'll see what she does with her last, because Button has 2 to play.
Landwin nearly really needs another bowl in here. The Welsh are vulnerable. Looking just to add on the forehand, dropping in underneath the green bowl of the Aussies. Get to the tee and she counts. That's a good line on that hand. She's close here. Well, that's going to help a lot. It's on the line of Rebecca Van Ash's drive.
It is only one. Think you play it here now? You're going to play a yard. You sit the ball, you get the jack.
Nice clear call from Tasha Scott. Just looking to land the bowl with a yard of weight was the call. Jack's okay.
Steam back.
Not a mile away there either. Look at that. Yeah.
Just rest the ball.
So now this is where Anwen Button needs to consolidate, to build on this.
Another draw shot here from Wales, looking to add.
Come on, Owen.
Gets a roll out of that front bowl. She's just underneath.
Yeah.
So not able to deliver. There's an opportunity for a couple, maybe three there for Wales, but they'll be settling for that single. They've scored again. That's on just their second end. They've scored 11-2, Australia leading in this final of the women's triples here at World Bowls 2016. Now do we see a long jack?
Yeah, well, this is a better length from the Welsh. Nearly maximum length. Yard short of the tee.
Go then, Em, on the top.
The wind's just started to blow a little, John.
Well, strangely enough, wind is forecast.
I can't believe it. Not in Christchurch. Who would have thought?
Go on, Emma.
Absolutely. Gosh, it's been a mix of weather for you, hasn't it, over the 2 weeks?
We come to expect that from Christchurch.
At this time of the year.
Yes.
You've got to add that, yes.
Yes. Yes, the weather keeps us guessing here. It's a lot like Melbourne weather, I think. It's quite changeable. You know, you can start off in your shorts in the morning and end up with your snow jacket in the afternoon.
Yes, well, Natasha Scott was saying last week that she had to send an SOS out for some trousers, didn't she? She didn't have any. Well, she'd come from the Gold Coast, I think.
She had.
And suddenly arrived in single-digit temperatures here. But it's good. It keeps people guessing, and it makes it quite exciting, actually. You know, not so much maybe when you're playing, but certainly watching and see how people handle the temperature, the winds, the variations of conditions during one match alone. You're not just playing in the perfect Queensland sunshine all the time.
No, that'd be boring, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
Christchurch has been a great city for us, for the Aussie contingent. We've spent a lot of time here over the last few years, and you know, we very much enjoy our time in this city. It's handy. It's only sort of 3-hour flight from Sydney and most capital cities in Australia, and we very much enjoyed our time.
Of course, while you say it's been Christchurch over the last few years, and they have had a lot of events here, 2 World Championships, Pan Pacs, Trans-Tasman, all sorts of things. The next biggie, I suppose, is Commonwealth Games for this part of the world on Gold Coast. And are you aware of preparations and facilities and that sort of thing? Yeah,
also the host club for the Commonwealth Games in 2018 is at Broadbeach Bowls Club, where the facilities are fantastic. The greens are great, and I think, you know, from a Commonwealth Games point of view, the last few Commonwealth Games, the greens haven't been, you know, they've been challenging to say the least, John. I suppose, you know, you look at KL, Manchester, even Darebin in Melbourne, they were newly laid. So to have a really good surface to play on for Commonwealth Games is something that the players will be very excited about.
Oh, just a wee touch, and that won't have hurt them either, because it did move the jack slightly towards that bottom, not bottom right, but the right bowl just behind the jack, which is also a Welsh bowl.
And the call is you can draw that for Natasha Scott on this longer length, the 9th end, halfway through. Well, she's trying here,
yeah.
Natasha Scott. Just needs to duck.
Well played, Tash.
Oh.
Great shot.
How disheartening for the Welsh when you can see we've got a couple of shots here now, and then up steps Scott and just plonks one right alongside. Just on the inside of her own bowl, or the Australian bowl.
I'm sure there would have been some cheers coming from Raymond Terrace Bowling Club, which is Tasha's club in Newcastle at home. I'm sure there's a lot of people watching there and right throughout Australia on Fox. Rebecca Van Ash heading back to the mat, holding shot. She'd be very happy with how her troopers have gone this morning so far. Rebecca hails from the Invermay Bowls Club in Tasmania. Very proud Tasmanian. You can't say anything against Tassie to Beck. She's extremely
Yes.
proud of Tassie, as
Very
they should
defensive.
be of her. Well, the weight's very good here. She's got a bit of the jack. No, it's not so bad. One and a look.
Yeah.
She's hidden it from Edwin Button here. It's actually a very good shot.
That's so hard for her to get at, isn't it? If we have a view of it later from Edwin Button's viewpoint, she won't be able to see the jack, or maybe a bit of it when she stands on the mat, but you can see there how well hidden it is.
Hang on a minute. Fallen, just come back again.
She's come back down again too.
Yeah.
Hazel Wilson is the team manager, also from that Berryu club.
First shot.
It might go though if it catches it there.
Well, Emma's standing in the ditch. The Welsh have the back bowl here. She just needs a connection. Anything through the front.
Yeah, just do that. No, well, to be honest,
See,
if
there's
it
that-
doesn't go dead, we will.
The back bowl is just where Emma Woodcock was placing her foot. You see it there now clearly, the green bowl with the red disc on it. That's the back bowl, but gosh, that's hard to get at, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing, you know, with bowls, you know, you try to get the jack to a spot where your opposition can't get to it. Rebecca Van Ash played a bomb with the last bowl to achieve that.
Down a touch.
She's in the area.
Ball to ball.
Oh, anything could have happened then. Just a matter of on what angle you hit that front bowl. Nothing happened for Wales.
How did that go? Nothing else.
Beck's got a bowl to come. Well, suggest perhaps a backhand draw shot. There is a chance that she could just move the jack an inch or two for three here. Look, it's a tough shot. The alternative is just to play probably a safer shot on the forehand, which she just played. She knows the weight, she knows the line. She's trying for a draw shot on the backhand.
Just asking Scott to mark the jack. She can't see that from the mat. So the foot replaces the jack.
Oh, she's watching it.
White's awesome here.
Krasanik sort of coaxing it in a wee bit. It's a very good try, as you would say. But the shot bowl is taken out. They might look at, as they are, measuring for two. Australia back on the board. Just one it is. But Australia marching on here, slowly but surely. And after 9 of the 18 ends, it's 12-2, Australia leading Wales. Erin Sheriff on the left there, involved in a mighty semi-final yesterday against Shannon McElroy. So the New Zealander against the Australian. And on this occasion, one of the few times actually we've seen Erin Sheriff lose. He's been such a great competitor. Very popular over this way. Interestingly, talking about bowls, and we're getting great reaction, and it's good to get bowls on television through Fox and Sky and live streaming. We've got the Bowls Premier League coming up, and that's in February and March. Which again is going to be live on Sky and Fox, and being held at the North Shore Event Centre and also Sunny Bay Bowling Club. So you've got an involvement of that in that, Karen. That's good value, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Sydney Line through and through. So we were lucky enough to win that a couple of weeks ago over at Pine Rivers, and I know the players are very much looking forward to heading over to Auckland and bringing it across the Tasman. Hopefully get some good crowds up there, and it'll be great television viewing for all the avid bowlers to watch some good bowls being played.
And we've got a few new viewers here too. We're getting some messages from people saying we didn't really understand bowls, and then they saw particularly the men's peers, wasn't it? This England-Australia last week, which was a real cliffhanger, and people got wrapped up in that. The triples it was, and the people got really wrapped up in that because it was so close, going to extra ends, and it's often you don't see that sort of closeness on TV. So for people who are watching now, first timers or bowls people who are interested, what's the format for the Premier League?
Yeah, so it's the format is off our Jack Attack program, I suppose, for Bowls Australia. So it's 2 sets of 5 ends. Yeah, there's 3 people to a team, but it's pairs, and there's a substitute player. Every player has to play a minimum of 3 ends. So look, there's lots of strategy comes into it. It's very tactical, you know, who to play when, and who skips and who leads and things like that. But yeah, the Sydney Lions hadn't had a great track record in the BPL over the last few years, but we got it right this year with Ben Twist and Aaron Sheriff and myself, and mandatory for a female to be in every team, which is great for the sport, and it really threw a new spin on the BPL.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I've watched a lot of it just parked up at home at night time when it's been coming in from Australia. And it's a lot of fun, actually. It's very competitive, and it's in those events like that you actually see a bit of people who often play with each other actually playing against each other, and they're a heck of a lot of fun, a lot of light-hearted banter.
And of course,
the crowd gets involved a bit more too, doesn't it?
They do. The more beers they have, the louder they get. But I mean, obviously the Blackjacks have had great success in the BPL over the last few years, and I think it's been great for bowls in New Zealand for them to come over and compete in Australia, and as they often do.
Pretty happy anyway here. That's good.
You gonna play it?
Second.
You gonna play it? Come on, you do it.
The Malaysians shaking their head, not sure why.
Wow, they've been very prominent, haven't they, in World Bowls at Commonwealth Games. You see the run shot, which is just going to move the wrong one.
Well, there's nothing going for the Welsh at the moment, is there?
No.
The last couple of times they've made contact with attacking shots, and nothing coming off for them at this stage.
Scott looking to compound the problem for Wales by drawing another.
Tash getting to the tee,
All good there.
just past it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Kathy will be short to this.
Kathy Pearce.
She's close to
this.
bowl.
Yeah, good shot.
It's a great shot.
Well, that relieves the pressure for Anwen Button. Now, someone else has played the shot that she was possibly thinking she was going to have to play herself. Just opened it up a wee bit.
She was probably after the jack, more so. She's still one down as Rebecca Van Ash goes to the mat, looking to add another shot here for the green and gold. She wasn't too far away from the little yellow jack.
No.
Just watching yesterday in the women's triples when the Aussies played South Africa, Rebecca Van Ash kept the Aussies in it. Her attacking shots in the first 7 ends was phenomenal. She's been hitting everything just about. So she's been really playing well in this triples outfit. Obviously backed up by the girls at the front.
Well, that was a real test of character, wasn't it, that match?
Yeah, went to an extra end as well. It was a blustery afternoon in the semi-finals.
Looking to draw the shot here.
Well, she's trying hard here, Anwen Button. She deserves this. I think she's played it well. Needs to stop.
Yeah.
That's the shot. It's a good shot. Right behind the jack. Well, it's just a draw shot from Beck Van Ash here. Is she going to run the distance? She's got a great line here. I don't know that she's quite got the weight.
Could rest the ball, you bring the side one in. Go on, Anwen, you can do it.
Well, if Anwen was to get a couple of rolls out of the blue disc bowl, bottom left corner there, she could make 3 here.
Yeah.
Come on then, onto the ball.
Here we go. This is the 10th end of 18.
She's got a very good line again here. Needs to get, no, she's just a fraction quick.
Down, for goodness sake.
Just hasn't been able to. And another single. It's only singles for Wales. They've scored on 3 ends now. They moved to 3, but they face the prospect of overhauling Australia, who have 12. 12-3 after 10 ends. So, Karen, thank you very much. It's been great that you've been able to join us and give us some insight. And I'm sure particularly the Fox viewers back home will be delighted to hear how things are going over here. And again, congratulations on your singles victory. Very impressive.
Thank you, John. Yeah, it's been great to have a chat this morning, and yeah, it's great that the Fox has picked it up at home too for all the Australian supporters and viewers over there.
Go now. Go now. Come on. Up you come.
So now the 11th end begins.
Yeah, well done. That's all you have.
And Wales have the jack. They've put down a long end, maximum length almost. Terry Scott's been viewing this from on high and just getting a feel for it. And I think while Karen was chatting, Terry, she was absolutely right that it's just nothing's falling for Wales. They're just there, but not thereabouts, and that's about it. And Australia just have an edge in all positions at the moment.
Yeah, just certainly so. They've just been struggling to get the line. I think that's where they've been the important part, and as a consequence of that, we saw it in the last end where the opportunity was there for Anwen Button, and unfortunately she was unable to grab that opportunity, and that's where they've just struggled at the moment. It's just interesting to note just the timeout that I did have to go downstairs and have a feel for the conditions. The wind has developed to some extent out there, though not at green level so much, but if it does continue to develop at the rate it's going at the moment, there may be a change of circumstances, and one never knows as to whether that may then favour the Welsh combination.
It's also interesting what Karen said about playing the other way and how there is an area there where it does affect the bowls. We were talking about it last weekend where we thought it might have been the wind or a different condition down by the clubhouse, and clearly the players have noted it as well.
Yeah, they certainly have, and we've seen a lot looser ends, and when we've been coming in the direction that we are now, and a number of occasions that we look at the sky there, it's well, very cloudy at the moment, and the wind, as I said, has started to develop.
Hang about now.
Kathy Pearce with her first bowl. All bowls a little bit loose on this end so far. We can see the breeze is starting to develop, the wind through the trees. Flags are
good there.
Natasha Scott with her first bowl.
Well, often last week we talked about that, the individual battle, you know, the leads against each other and the twos. And this is probably one of the more scattered heads we've seen. And here's an opportunity for Wales.
Yes, Kathy Pearce on the shot. They need more of them. They've got to start pegging this back. They're over halfway through this game now. 18 ends, 10 have been completed, and Wales have just scored the 3 singles, so they need to develop on that a bit. Score a multiple to get themselves back into it, give their own confidence a boost.
They're not allowed to relax, though. The Australians so skillful in ruining what looked to be good opportunities for the opposition. Just resting on the shot bowl, pushing it out. Wales looking to win their first World Triples title since 1977, when Janet Osborne, Enid Morgan and Margaret Pomeroy was the victorious triple.
You got enough on. All right, that's your side till
You
next
see the
time.
weighted shot from Emma Button crossing the centre line now. Yeah, well, really, did she have enough weight? I'm not too sure. Tasha Scott checking as to whether they hold 1 or 2 shots. Very close.
There's one up there too.
Van Ash for their first on this, the 11th end, holding 1, maybe a measure or maybe 2. She's going to change that.
Looks to be
No, just-
tight.
Yeah, but tight.
Yeah.
That's all right there.
Close on the
Karen
side,
Murphy
then,
has
Nick.
gone down to
Come
the
on.
ground level and watching there.
Same way, William.
Need a bit more, I think. You either just drop it underneath
12
or
to
keep the
3.
line and play a bit more.
Just hasn't held that excitement of some of the games we've seen, and a lot of that is because Australia have just dominated, and this is well wide by looked to be a half and half shot, really a weighted shot, but thinking maybe in her head she should be drawing and ends up with a bit of both.
Yes, she knew as soon as she delivered it, didn't she, that she had pushed it wide for the weight that she had. Don't know whether she was really intending to play with that much weight. They've just struggled throughout this game, the Welsh combination. Looking to add the bonus shot, and has played it pretty well. Well, confirmed that the account is 2, moving the jack there, so Australia continue to score and go on their merry way, picking up a 2 on the 11th end to lead by 14 to 3.
So even though Wales had the jack, they played a long end. They couldn't do anything with that. They dropped another shot. They revert to short ends. Australia take the mat out.
Yes, it was the time that Wales needed to dominate. They really only had one effective bowl on that end, and unfortunately for them ended up dropping a 2. So immediately Australia take the mat considerable way up the green, about 2.5 metres short of the maximum length that they can take the mat to, or the minimum length really. And the Jack on the 2 metre mark.
This is the first bowl of the 12th end. 12 of 18 ends in this women's final. Australia
Got it.
have really just taken control and not allowed Wales any leeway whatsoever. Emma Woodcock with her first.
Come to it, Ed.
This afternoon we have the men's fours. That'll be live at 1 o'clock. Men's four between Australia and New Zealand. That's on live at 1 o'clock New Zealand time.
Carla, settle now. Settle.
Yes, well, Wales seem to get one close every now and then, but it's only to see it bettered by an Australian bowl. And a very good response there from Carla Krasanic. She's been steady in this final, as she has been throughout the whole tournament.
Yeah, another very good bowl. Down. Yeah, you got it.
Oh, yes, she gets the fall. The bowl topples in her favour. Emma Woodcock, Cardiff Bowling Club. She's been a junior and a senior international. National singles champion.
Good one.
Line's pretty good,
Yeah,
mate.
good try.
She'll be happy with those two bowls that she's put on there. Kathy Pearce.
Come on, Cass. Come on. Run, Cass. Up, up.
Reached the
Come
bronze
on,
medal
Kathy.
playoff at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow.
Let up.
And she played a few bowls like this. Oh, my goodness.
Well, you wonder where they've been, don't you?
Yes. I think that's what Anwan's saying too. Where have you been? That makes it so much more simple for the skip when they've got something there. I mean, this mightn't stay that way, of course, but at least bowlers are on target.
Well, I think Natasha Scott is certainly lining up to look at attacking this. With 2 down.
Oh, Tash.
She's got it.
Good shot, Tash.
Now, Australia will move from 2 down to 2 up, I'd say. Yeah, there we go. Yes.
Well, there's not too many other bowls left on the green,
there's
is there?
nothing left.
2 down. In it come.
In fact, there's had a third bowl on there, so they've got holding 3 shots, Australia, after that.
Come on.
Well, this is where Kathy Pearce has to reply
Come on.
and get it right in by the jack.
Come on, Cass. Up you come. A little bit more. Down.
Goodness. After playing a superb bowl previously, she has failed to deliver.
Yeah, well,
At least it's cut it down, down to
yes,
1.
she changed her hand as well, and she had drawn on the backhand a beautiful bowl, and then changed to the open side of the rink, but unfortunately was unable to get it in there as effective as her first.
Something you don't always see, and you can see down the far end all the bowlers who aren't on the mat, that is 5 of them, are all standing chatting to each other. So Australians and the Welsh, obviously, as Karen Murphy indicated, get on very well together. Oops, and Van Ash can't capitalise either.
Button with her first bowl, and this is the 12th end. Looks to be coming up short as well. I don't think she's got enough running either.
Pass those. Pass them.
plenty of room for both of these skips.
Yes. Van Ash on the prowl.
I don't know if she's got enough
No,
weight.
she doesn't like it either. She stopped prowling. Oh, my word.
Well, the opening bowls on this end, there was 3 or 4 nestled around the jack, and once they were disappeared, it's been a battle for the skips.
That wind has picked up too. She needs to get in through that gap, and she's done that. She's done that nicely. Hold up. Thank you very much. Don't move it too far. That'll be good. Oh, phew, for Wales. Ten the difference. 6 ends to go. Notice Van Ash picks the mat up and tosses it on the bank there. It was a long way down. And there's a bit of a discussion here. Not much has worked for Wales, so I suppose all they can do is play those longer ends, which they tried previously.
Yes, they've taken the mat up probably about 2 to 3 metres, and they may have wanted to throw the jack a little bit further than that. It's really back to the length of end that Australia has dominated.
Come on, Em.
They haven't really been able to upset Australia's rhythm. They've scored on 4 ends,
Come on, Emma.
and so they have the 4 shots.
Yes,
And while they've restricted Australia quite well, it was that start of 5 ends, 9-0 up that set it up for Australia.
Yes, since then, of course, the score has just been 5-4 to Australia. So it's that over this latter part of the game so far, it's been relatively even. But Australia got away to the flyer.
Right, next one.
Come on, Em. Big chance.
It's become a bit tepid out there at the moment as the players just struggling a wee bit. And Australia with Carla Krzanek, her last few
Come on, then.
bowls
Down you come, Em.
have not been up to her high standard.
Down, Em. Well
Emma
played,
Woodcock
Emma.
looking to get one in close. Applause from the crowd here. Have you been to the Penarth Windsor Bowling Club in Wales? Terry, you've been to Wales, played bowls, haven't you?
Yeah, we certainly have. Our New Zealand team went to Wales on a couple of occasions as lead up to the Commonwealth Games that were in Glasgow, and we had competition there. But didn't go to that particular bowling club. We had a fantastic time in Wales. We were certainly well looked after, and yeah, just great opportunity for the New Zealand team to get a feel for the greens, the UK greens, the heavier greens, before leading into the Commonwealth Games.
So the players here representing the Cardiff Bowling Club, the Berryu Bowling Club, and the Lampeter Club. But also, as I've mentioned earlier, Emma Woodcock's a social member at Penarth Windsor. I think her husband Matthew plays there.
Don't change the
Sorry, mate,
thing.
next one.
Yes, they certainly know how to host you, Wales. It was a fantastic time. The bowls were primarily played at the Barry Bowling Club and the Dennis Powers Bowling Club.
Come on. Down then.
Used to sneak through the gap. They do. Well, a couple of rubs, and it might be just starting to favour Wales a little bit. They were on the wrong end of those rubs earlier on.
They certainly were. And they had at some of those earlier ends, they were in good positions, and it was outstanding bowls, or in a couple of cases, a bit of luck from the Australians, which turned it against them. On more than one occasion, Wales were holding shot or two just to see it upended.
Well, this is one of the best ends that Anwin Buttons has changed over with, isn't it? She's holding 3 shots at the moment, Wales. 3 red disc bowls, so she can go back to the mat with a a little bit of a smile.
Yeah. Father and son, the Button family, watching Anwan as she plays this first of two, looking to add to the situation. She got tied up there, did she? Didn't quite see that. It's here it goes. Yeah, just short.
Well, she got onto
on
her
her own, though, wasn't
it?
it?
Was her own bowl she
Yeah.
got onto, so it may have brought that up close for another shot.
That's good.
I think it is. I think it's Wales are holding 4, but that could well be undone very shortly. Looking at this bowl travelling in.
Oh, she's drawn it. Goodness me, that's so heartbreaking for Wales, but what an outstanding. That's a skip's job, is to save the situation, and Van Ash has. Now what do you do, Anwan?
Well, we see it coming in here. It's an excellent bowl. She was 4 down, Rebecca Van Ash, and drawing the shot. Now, the difficulty for Wales is that bowls in front of the jack now. The bowls that we can see there, the blue disc bowl, the green and yellow bowl of Australia, and we can then see in front of that 1, 2, 3 bowls, which is going to make it extremely difficult for Anwan Button to get to that shot bowl. She'll look at playing with a little bit of weight, hoping to turn the shot bowl off the head, or a touch of movement of the jack.
Not a bad line.
Past the front ones, I think that's the
no,
problem.
A wick. Not even a wick. She could not get a wick. And so we have, with 1 to play, Van Ash and the Australian team holding the shot.
Just checking to see if they've got it. If they haven't, she certainly reduced the count.
This is the last bowl, 13th end. Women's triples final, Wales, Australia, 14-4. Australia lead.
You happy with that? Out there?
Quite wide there.
It was.
And
Coming.
Yeah, starting to come home though.
Run.
oh my word, they were coaxing it. Not quite. Well, that was a superb last bowl. I was just watching the reaction from Krasanik, and she was just holding her arm out as if to say, no, you're just too wide, and then it worked. So a single for Australia again. Wales cannot score on consecutive ends, it seems. 15-4. Presentation of medals for this match will be made at the completion of this afternoon's final, the men's 4 between Australia and New Zealand. There's a souvenir for you, Terry. Just go and grab one of those scarves. You could wear it in Dunedin. I'd love you wearing that at the Northeast Valley Bowling Club, the finest bowling club in Otago.
Yeah, we're blue and gold. We're blue and gold, John.
Oh, but you could, you just wear it. No? No, okay.
Just checking the length of the end here. It needs to be 23 metres from the mat to the jack, and the umpires have checked that out, and it isn't, so the jack is returned, and now Emma Woodcock will have the opportunity to replace the mat and throw the jack. So immediately the bowls are kicked closer to the ditch, and the mat placed by Emma Woodcock. Yep, throwing a little bit longer than what they've been traditionally been playing.
Kathy Pearce just filling in at the moment as Skip. There's the umpire's toolbox. So you'll note, if you just wondering about it, even though Wales
Colour.
were able to place the mat and put the jack up to whatever length they wanted. The first bowl is still in the hands of Australia, so nothing else changes. And there we see it. So Wales have set the mat, set the length, the end length, and Australia put one pretty close. Need Emma Woodcock to get in form here.
Very good ball. Well done. Play.
Here you go, mate.
Been a tiring couple of weeks, Terry. They're long days, and there's only that one break, which was Monday for many of them. But those who weren't involved in the finals, of course, Saturday and Sunday had a 3-day break. But it's full on, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. Through those qualifying rounds, they're playing 3 games a day. Kicking off early in the morning, and they were still going here last night or evening to a fairly late stage in the day. So it's a demanding day for the players, and particularly for those who carry on through the post-section games into the semi-finals and subsequently the finals. Just the one day off in between the change of disciplines.
Anything inside that, pretty happy.
So Australia holding 2 shots, or 2 white balls with the blue discs. The real difference has been when Australia, they, as we said, got off to that great start, and they've been able to score more than one. They've restricted the Welsh scoring just to the 1 shots. They've scored 4 singles, whereas they themselves have started with that 3, of course, and then have scored 4 twos in later ends. So it's a tough task now for Wales. 11 behind, 5 ends to play. They need to score a multiple, give themselves a confidence and a boost.
Weight's pretty good.
Okay, mate. Finishing here is really good. Get a couple of rolls out of that, it's even better. Coming to a good home, mate. Very good.
Come on, Carson, draw there, sorry, lead. Come on, big
Well,
shot.
3 down.
That was the directions that Natasha Scott was given, and she's responded very well. It's a cover bowl.
Come on. Up you come,
Come
Carl.
on, Carl.
Up.
Run up.
Almost pleading with it to get up and give us something.
She was reasonably well weighted, just cutting across the face of the shot bowls. So it's Australia still holding, well, probably still holding 3.
I'll try and draw Carla's foot, and if I happen to roll yours, all good. Yeah, yeah.
Out to it, it's either that, or if you try and draw round the purple,
Finish
out
in there.
there.
Yeah. I think I'd rather do it this hand, because if I do roll yours, I still don't mind. 'Cause if, if I roll yours into there, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Yes. Can you play that?
Yep, so constantly, Terry, they have to think about not just that shot, but what might eventuate what the opposition. You don't want to leave the opposition a shot, do you? So
No, exactly
plan-
right. And
planning ahead.
They've got 3 shots here, and the thing is that they want to leave those gaps there. We can see it between the jack and the green bowl to the left. They want to probably leave that gap there, and just so, or just turn that green bowl around a bit to remove the rest for the Welsh team. So just perhaps a slight change. But Liam seem to be playing with some weight here, though. I don't think that was anticipated. And she is getting close to moving the jack. Well, she's certainly reduced the count and may well have even given away the shot.
The bottom white bowl, as it looks up at us, is the Welsh bowl.
Yes, she said sorry, didn't she? And she needed to, because it was a very good end there for Australia. They were holding 3 good shots. There was nothing much for Wales. They only could draw, and she played it with too much weight.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic there for Button, but there are gaps for her to get through. The same one that Van Ash took. She might just squeeze through this as she got the weight to get up, or she'll get caught up. Needed to hold her head a bit more than that.
Needed a little bit more weight to get up through that gap. Well, it's close for shot. I favour the Welsh bowl here.
Down at the bottom, yeah.
Down the bottom, and if it is the shot, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a drive at it down through the gap between those bowls up the top of our screen that we can see there. The 2 white bowls. If she comes down between those with weight, looking for the shot bowl.
So backhand.
It's a backhand drive.
Here it is, on her way. Last ball for Van Ash. She's through that gap. Oh, just missed it. You picked that one well, Terry. So that's what they were going for.
She got through the gap. You'd think she must get the bowl. And well, it wasn't much to miss by, was it?
No. Wales have scored only singles. They must have the shot because of what we saw from Van Ash. Need to get around this or push that one up. Around it they go. Settle on that. That's nice. But is it enough for 2? Just the one. Just the one it is. And so Wales, again, they're scoring on alternate ends. They now have 5. But at the other end, it's 15 for Australia. Still 10 the difference. And we've got 4 ends to play in this women's triples final.
All right, well, we've got a little bit longer in, delivered from Emma Woodcock.
Go on, Ed. Keep it going.
Interesting thing is that Wales in the, well, every time they've played this way, they've failed to score. They haven't scored going in this direction.
That's right.
Come on.
And they've had the mat. So they scored a single on the 6th, 8th, 10th, 12th and 14th. The other way.
Oh, run this way. Run. All right, next
Next
one.
one, wait. In you come. Come on. Oh no. Come on. Go in one. It's okay.
Come on, Carla.
This one's
Correction here,
got
mate.
Van Ash excited.
Very good. Brilliant. That's it, mate.
Yes, a very good bowl.
Up to you. You're either playing it or draw it off. Up to you. Come on, you can do it.
Kathy Pearce. Just watching how a bowl
Well
works
done.
here. Gets into that arc, starts to
Keep
turn
coming
back
in.
in.
Good effort, Carl.
When we talk about
That's all.
green, nice green,
Yeah, anything inside that,
if
good,
it
mate.
ends up
Counts.
on that centre line, that means they've read it very, very well. So their line is good, or their green is good.
Yes, we'll have a look at this one from the mat, the delivery. I've been watching these bowls go down when they're just outside the signage on the green, the World Bowl sign on the green that they're going past now. you're on a reasonably good line, and the Welsh bowls have been a little bit further out than that. And we see that one was just a touch further out. She had a bit too much weight probably in the end, but the line seems to be just at this particular length on the outside of that world bowl sign as it's travelling towards the jack. As we see this one delivered here, and we'll go past this. Now, it just seems to hang a little bit more out there. Have a look at it. It's just when it's wider of that sign is where it's hanging.
So some players will have an idea of a sort of an area on the green that they want to deliver to. And as you're talking there, you're suggesting that they should be at a certain part of that sign painted on the green. They should be travelling just inside that.
As we go onto this side of the rink, it's taking more green. They come home a lot more at the end here. You see this coming home now. Right back to the centre line.
Yep. So they're clearly one shot to Australia. They have the blue disc bowls.
Back on fire at it.
Yes, it's so important for Wales to score now. They've only got 3 more ends after this.
They don't want to be faced with maximum on or anything approaching it, because they haven't scored more than a single on any end. So here's a run shot at the shot bowl. It's well wide of that. So shot and the jack moving it back would possibly benefit Wales here, but not the way Van Ash has been bowling. She's likely to just draw another.
And that run shot was epitomised what Karen Murphy had pointed out earlier, that the weighted shots on the green, you don't need to take a lot of green. It's the pace of the green, the style of the green that they're playing on here, and you don't need to take a lot of green. And immediately when Anwin Button let that bowl go, she knew that she was not going to come back, particularly with that weight.
Just see if you can just get the edge off the ball. Back to you. Yeah.
So she's talking about bringing the jack back to where Pearce is standing. So is there a red bowl there? She wants to get a piece of it anyway. Needs to. Looks like she might have. Jack clear. Just shot clear. Out it goes.
Yes, she just was wanting a little bit of movement of the jack as well. A hard shot to play that, and I mean she needed to follow through and pick up the jack and bring it back to her own bowls. But unfortunately, not able to do it on that occasion, and Australia possibly still hold the one shot.
Come on, buddy. You go now, mate. Sprint.
Not going to get there. Scott reaching in for her measure. And Wales concede that the shot was closest. It was an Australian one. They get a single. And it is now 16-5. And yet again, Wales failed to score bowling in this direction.
Well, that's, as you say, John, 15 years completed. And it's going to be an uphill battle now for Wales. Australia pick up a 2 on this end. It'll be all over.
Really have been totally shut out of this by this very fine Australian combination. Getting through to the final after a big battle yesterday, the Welsh. The Australians surviving a torrid time in theirs as well, going to an extra end. So here they are, the 2 top teams in this final.
Yes, in that semi-final, it was South Africa who were leading Australia 15-14 playing the last end, and it was Rebecca Van Ash who drove the shot bowl out for Australia to pick up the 1. She had an opportunity with her last bowl to win the game. She failed, and they went into the extra end, and Australia picking up the shot to win the game. And South African skip had 2 drives, killed the jack with her first, respotted Australia, held 2, and then the final drive from South Africa going between the shot bowl and the jack. So it was a pretty tense semi-final for Australia.
Yes, what you got, you are. Do this. Come on. Hold right now. Round up. Come on, Emma.
Come on, missed that one.
Very
No.
good. The help, so done. Good beat.
Probably one down to that, mate. We Jack high. Beat it, you got it.
Probably one down to that, mate, she says. Letting Scott know the situation on the head.
All right, side mate. Next one. Line's real good.
Good. Just beat down for another. Come on, down you come.
Did you watch that line and how it went over the marks? The signs on the green?
Of course, that does vary when,
Yeah,
when you have a
when
different
the match
lead.
up and then
Yes.
yeah.
But it's something that you can just perhaps read from your opposition as well. And I know we play with different bowls, but it gives you an indication at times.
We talked last week about Brett Wilkie not watching. Here's one player we picked on. Just we looked at him and he had his head down, he averted his eyes, didn't watch the previous bowl going down at all. And a lot of people have wondered why. What was the significance, really? And as you explained, it's you know, if you might stand in a different position, as Wilkie himself, you stand in a different position on the mat, you're using different bowls, all those sorts of things. You don't want to be distracted at all or influenced by the other player's bowl.
Oh, exactly. And Karen Murphy touched on that when she said that she moved to the inside of the mat for her delivery to just change the line that she was going to the jack. And you know, those are the little things that probably at the end of the day win you the gold medal.
It's a matter of concentrating on your game, listening to what the skip's saying, because they're very clear in their instructions and description of what's there. Sometimes the indications are just subtle hand signals. There's certainly not as much talk here as you'd find in a inter-club game. This is very good bowling again. It's Van Ash. She, as Karen Murphy said, she really bowled outstandingly yesterday. And the rest of the team was just slipping a wee bit. May have two shots here. No, got certainly one. That Australian bowl, do you think?
It does look to be the shot from there. It's just hard to tell.
But the Welsh are playing as if their bowl was the shot initially.
They need to play to make shots, not just draw the shot. It's so important for them to score a multiple. It's a hard ask for them here. They've got to pick up 11 shots in 3 ends. That's real difficult. And this one certainly doesn't look as though it's going to be helping at all. Across the face of the head. Well, the players will have a good study of it, try and get some indication as to whether they hold or not.
Might hear what Van Ash says.
Well, look at one down, not too bad, are they? Yeah, about that. About that.
You drop inside here. Anything out here, this guy will line. Yep.
They won't play anything to give Wales an opportunity. They may well say, well, we're one down at the moment, but let's cover the danger spots. If there's any movement of the jack, we don't want to be conceding a 3. If they say they're one down at the present time, well, that's fine. They can go into the final ends, still 10 shots ahead.
Just ensuring that they do not face the possibility of conceding multiple numbers down here. So here, playing up and over, looking
Well done.
Towards the back. See, there's a couple of red bowls there. 3, in fact, 3, 4 Welsh bowls back there. There were.
And that's what I was surprised with Aaron Button with her last bowl. Didn't sort of, yeah, it was a nothing bowl. She didn't get onto any of the shot bowls or movement of the jack, and that was her opportunity to get it back there.
So what, down? Forward arm.
Onto their bowl, which is
Onto it there.
the way their luck's been going. If they did play onto that short bowl of their own and try and push the jack back, they'd probably give it to Australia.
Well, we'll see.
Certainly movement of the jack back and to the left as we look at it would favour Wales.
I think there's going to be some movement somewhere or another.
Gotta be trying.
Going underneath, isn't
Oh, no, she needed to make contact. And when Button will be really disappointed with that. That was an opportunity. So that one's not in the measure. Now, this is it closest to this blue Australian bowl, blue disc Australian bowl, or to this red disc Welsh bowl. She's, see it moving there, so you would suggest it is the Welsh one. She's going to go again.
Well, it should be the Welsh one, shouldn't it? They've been scoring on this direction.
Yeah,
Only the
exactly.
ones.
Yeah, we don't want to break the system at all. She's not. She's going to get. I don't know whether just calling the umpire now, but now the Welsh number 2, Kathy Pearce, is going to.
Well, the second indication then on the measure would be that Australia have the shot.
I actually liked it if I like that. Umpire, please.
Van Esch is standing down the other end. I can just see her in front of us, and she's just almost saying, "What did you call the umpire initially?"
Yeah, certainly so. Well, Russell Dorr, the umpire from Dunedin.
Russell's shaking a bit. Tense time for you, Russell.
On the big stage.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he's going to go Australia, I think. Oh, no, he's going back again. There we go. So you've had time to go and put the jug on, make a cup of tea, and come back, and nothing's changed. Now we'll see this. Whoops.
Readjustment. He will still go back to the Welsh bowl again.
And someone at his place will be saying, I don't know why you wear those white pants. Look at the grass stains on them. Can't get those grass stains out of your knees. One down, so it is Wales who win that end again. They've continued a remarkable sequence of scoring, bowling this way for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ends in a row. So 16-6 now, still 10 shots the difference.
It's a big ask for Wales now. To play the last end, Wales need to score a 4. It's maximum they need to, well, the minimum they need to score a 4. They'd love to score a 6, but I can't see it happening. So 10 shots required in the final 2 ends.
Come on, down you come. Good start, Emma. Good start. Very
1. get an indication of there how the wind has certainly increased in velocity since this match started a couple of hours ago. Quite a lot of protective screens around, of course, as you can see in the background. But still that wind gets in there off the roof and the sides of the clubhouse and over the fence, and it's not too bad.
Come on, and again. Come on, right there.
Better line.
Up you come. Yes, very good, Emma.
2.
Yep. They're enjoying their time out here, as Anwen Button said at the start of the program, just before the bowls began, that they were just thrilled to be in the situation of reaching the final. And as they said, if they played to their best as they had done during section and post-section play, they'd be in with a chance. But they haven't been able to recapture their best form, and any promising situations have been quickly thwarted by this top Australian team. Another bowl here, so we're up to 3.
Cease, mate, cease.
Yes, and broadcast.
Pearce, the number 2.
Come on, down good. Rest on them, lad.
Just
That's
rest on
okay.
that Australian bowl would be handy.
Foot
Not
out
quite.
shot, mate.
Quite handy back there, perhaps, in the end. Kathy Pearce just gathered down below our commentary box, and we can sometimes just glance down and see them screwing up a face, saying, I could have done better.
Come on, Tash.
Yes, Scott just ruining it for Wales. Oh no, it just we carried on.
Good effort, buddy.
Carried on, so it's still Wales in the more positive position at the moment.
He's holding 3.
Go on, Anwen. Come on then, down to the ball. Come on.
Touch my ball first, then. Touch my ball first.
Okay, good try.
Well, that was the opportunity for Anwen Button
Yes.
to
Yeah.
add to the count, try and get a bit of pressure on her opposition. We've seen it previously where Rebecca Van Asch has drawn the shot when she's been under pressure coming in this direction, and she's pretty well pointed again.
Oh yeah, and if she
Have a
moves
look.
that jacket, it'll be all over
Oh,
for
she's
Wales.
just going to draw the shot. We don't need
Yeah.
any movement.
No. When it's required, Van Asch has been remarkably consistent and accurate.
She's certainly stepped up to the mark, hasn't she?
Come on, Anwen. Come on.
What's her weight like? She's going to miss the lot. Missed the lot.
And that is it.
They will shake hands, and they do. Australia, with a single on the 17th, had taken this match by 17-6 after 17 completed ends. It was yet another impressive performance from this Australian combination. This 3 plus Kelsey Cottrell won the 4s title last weekend. And they, Australia, have retained the title they won in 2012 and are the world champions. Australia, Rebecca Van Ash, Natasha Scott and Carla Krasanik have beaten Wales 17-6 in the final.
Yes, congratulations all round from coach Steve Glasson. Australia dominated right from the start in the opening ends, going out to a 9-0 lead, restricting Wales to the one shots regularly throughout the game. But I think it came down to when Wales may have had a little bit of a sniff. It was down on the 13th end when Australia were leading by 15-4, and Wales holding the 4 shots. It was Rebecca Van Ash who drew the shot and cancelled out any opportunity for Wales to get a score on the board. And at the end of the day, they were just too strong for the Welsh team, Australia taking out the gold medal.
So there we see the Welsh combination, including manager and other team members, just discussing it. Their manager, Hazel Wilson, was very enthusiastic beforehand, really quite impressed with the way her team had gone. But it's the Australians there with a woman who skipped them 4 years ago to victory, Karen Murphy, to the left. And their skip this time, though, was Rebecca Van Ash.
Rebecca, congratulations. We talked about it before the match. You are the World Triples champions. That must feel good.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we came here wanting to make the final, so we did that, and to be able to go back-to-back for the triples. Australia won it 4 years ago, and Tash was in that team, so we're rapt to be able to go back-to-back.
It's always good getting through to the final, but more importantly, a start like that. That was a stellar start to this one.
Yeah, look, for most of our games throughout this championships, our starts have been really good. So we wanted to keep that form going, and then it was just a matter of trying to maintain it. We knew the Welsh girls would keep fighting, so we had to try and keep that. And
of course, the guys got up to a 9-0 start. That was great. But then the Welsh got a little bit of a sniff, but the way that you guys were able to play those clutch plays, you must be really proud of how the team performed.
Absolutely. We knew that they'd keep fighting back, and it was a matter of us just trying to get as many in there as we could and play defensively when we needed to. And look, we just absolutely wrapped with the win, wrapped with the way we performed throughout the whole championships.
You're the world champions. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yes, very good. And there wasn't much measuring involved, but a little bit. They picked up a 3 on the first end, and that was a great start. And from then on, it was all Australia, really. Even when the Welsh did look as though they were in a strong position, it would be some action from Van Ash, which would do the dirty. They picked up a 3, a 2, a single, and then on the 5th, a 2. Wales didn't score until the 6th end. But then it was the Australians back in action again. They led by 11-8 after 8 ends. And look, the drawing of Van Ash was quite remarkable. Throughout the match, Anwen Button had very little to play with. Occasionally they got close. She was down on her haunches several times. They did play some very good bowls. They eventually scored a single on the 6th, and it was a single on every alternate end after that. But even at the end, when they were holding 2 or 3 shots, it was Van Ash who came up with the play which gave them the victory. 17 points to 6. That is the final score. Australia successfully defending the title they won 4 years ago. We're back at 1 o'clock this afternoon with the men's fours final, and that will feature Australia yet again, and their opponents this time will be New Zealand.
So there we have it. We're going to take a break here in the Burnside Club in Christchurch. Australia are the women's triples world champions, as we said. We have the men's fours coming up later on this afternoon from 1. New Zealand versus Australia, along with highlights from last weekend. Make sure you go sit back, relax, and we'll see you back here for more live action at 1 p.m.